Now, let us talk about the reactions of an alkene. Alkenes have a pi bond, and pi bond very easily undergoes addition reactions. So, the general reaction shown by an alkene is an addition reaction. What type of reaction? What is its mechanism? How can you find out the products of an addition reaction? Now, for example, CH2 double bond CH2. Whenever it is treated with bromine, be it bromine water, bromine CCl4, double bond will break and we get this. So, it could be bromine, it could be hydrogen, it could be HR, it could be water HOH, whatever it is, double bond will break and you get two different things. So, here we will be interestingly talking about a very important rule, basic rule, almost all of us know what it is called the Markovnikov's rule. Whenever an unsymmetrical double bond is treated with an unsymmetrical addendum, unsymmetrical double bond, unsymmetrical addendum, then there are two possibilities. One possibility is this, and the second possibility is this. So, there are two possibilities. Whenever the reaction is carried out, one of this is obtained in a higher percentage, almost 70 to 80%. Now, this is normally obtained as an 80% and this is obtained as a 20% product. This has been explained by a phenomenon, by a rule called as the Markovnikov's rule. Yes. Now, we are going to talk about the mechanism of an addition reaction shown by alkenes. Now, an alkene, I am going to take an unsymmetrical alkene. Whenever it is treated with an unsymmetrical addendum HBr, here the pi bond wants to become, this compound, the pi bond is the unstable part because it is a high energy thing, it wants to become stable. How can it become stable? By somehow convert into a sigma bond. So, the driving force is this pi electron takes up the H plus of HBr, and this is the two possibilities. So, pi bond takes up the H plus. So, the H can form a bond here. This carbon has lost its electron, it becomes plus, or the pi bond can be formed with take up the H and form the bond here, sigma bond here. Now, this becomes plus. So, you have two choice now, two carbon cations, and these two carbon cations, as we have studied earlier, one is a secondary carbon cation and this is a primary carbon cation. We know that a secondary carbon cation is more stable. So, which among these intermediate will be formed? This will be formed in a larger extent. Now, this is the driving force behind Markovnikov's rule, the formation of the more stable carbon cation. Now, Br minus will come here and we get the product CH3, CH, Br, CH2H. So, this will be the major product. And this will be the minor product. So, the statement of Markovnikov's rules is that whenever an unsymmetrical double bond undergoes addition reaction to unsymmetrical addendum, the negative part of the addendum will go to that carbon atom of the double bond which has a lesser number of hydrogen. Here this has only one H, so this has the lesser number of hydrogen, so Br will come there, so that is the main product. That is the statement. But now it is better for us to say that Markovnikov's rule is well explained based on the formation of the more stable carbon cation. So, the more stable carbon cation is this, therefore, the Br minus will subsequently come there only. So, we can always remember how to find out the product of the addition reaction. Next, number 2. Here, pi bond is taking up the H plus. So, it is called as an what? Electrophilic addition reaction. So, alkenes show what kind of reaction? Electrophilic addition reaction, because an electrophile H plus is attracted by the double bond. So, it is referred to as the electrophilic addition reaction. And electrophilic addition reaction of alkenes is governed by Markovnikov's rule. Markovnikov's rule is based on the formation of the more stable carbon cation. Now, if you know that the double bond, we need not even know the number of hydrogens of the double bond, just by finding out which will be the most stable carbon cation, we can predict the product. Now, for example, look at this. Here, if I add HBr, where will Br minus go? Where will H plus go? This carbon and this carbon. This is more stabilized due to larger plus I effect. So, this is the more stable carbon cation. So, the product will be how? So, we need not know the number of hydrogen. We can find out which is going to be the most stable carbon cation. That and that position Br will go. So, Br minus will go here, H plus will go there. So, the easy way is to find out the product of an alkenes electrophilic addition reaction. Now, look at this compound. In this compound, when you add HBr, where will Br minus go? Where will H plus go? We know that this carbon and this carbon, this is going to be the most stable carbon cation. Therefore, this is the most stable carbon cation, Br minus will go. So, we will be able to write the product like this. Easy. But we do not get this. Why? We expect the Br minus to go there, but we don't get this. Why? And when we carry out this reaction, we get this as the product, CH3, CH, H, CH, H. So, we get this. Br is not found to go here, Br is found to be going there. Why? Here, a very interesting thing has to be understood. It is called as the rearranged product. Okay. What happens here? Actually, when we add HBr, the first step is taking of H. Accordingly, what is obtained? H comes here, CH becomes plus, what we said is correct. So far correct. This is a secondary carbon cation. Here an interesting thing happens. This hydrogen shifts and results in the formation of this. Now, we can very easily explain why this is happening. This has happened because a tertiary carbon cation is far more stable. Tertiary carbon cation is far more stable than a secondary. So, this leads to a shift of a hydrogen atom from this position to this position. We normally refer to it as the 1,2 hydride shift. 1,2 hydride shift, and you get a rearranged product. Now Br minus will come here, and therefore the product obtained is this. So again I'll repeat. First, the carbon cation formed is this, as expected. Here a very interesting shift of hydrogen takes place. We refer to as the 1,2 hydride shift. Why? Because it results in the formation of a more stable tertiary carbon cation. This tertiary carbon cation is then attacked by Br minus, resulting in the formation of the rearranged product. So such kind of examples will be there. Now 1,2 hydride shift. So this is a very interesting thing. Yes, we had talked about 1,2 hydride shift. There is also another interesting thing called the 1,2 methyl shift. Look at this compound. Which will be the first stable carbon cation? This will be the most stable carbon cation. So what do you get first? CS3CH, H, CH plus CH3, CH3, CH3. Now we talked about hydrogen shift. Here a methyl group also can make a shift. It is called as the 1,2 methyl shift. And very interestingly, the carbon cation is now at this tertiary carbon. So this is called as 1,2 methyl shift. Now Br minus will attack. So now Br minus will attack this carbon, and the product obtained will be CH3, CH, H, CH3, H. You get the Br here, CH3, CH3. So this is the interesting thing called as 1,2 hydride shift and 1,2 methyl shift. Normally, when you get a question, always see whether there is a double bond. Find out which is the most stable carbon cation. Don't immediately judge to the and predict the product. Check whether the neighboring carbon, there is a scope for formation of tertiary either by the shift of a hydrogen atom or even a methyl carbon system. You get the new carbon cation here, and Br minus will further take place. This is called as a 1,2 hydride shift or 1,2 methyl shift. So how do you do? Find out whether the double bond, find out which will be more stable, check the neighboring carbon. If there is a possibility of a tertiary either by the shift of H or CS3, the Br minus will go to this new rearranged product position. So that is what is the most interesting thing of addition reaction.